What is up, fart smellers and smart fellas? I'm in a different place. You'll notice. And I'm a new man. I got married, I moved into a house, and things are looking up a lot. I posted one video about me being overworked. I got a new job too. Um Not my favorite, but it's a new job and that's great. And we're doing okay. We're doing more than okay. All right. If you guys want me to post, I'm not gonna post like a house tour, but I want to highlight some areas of where I live that I think is really cool. It is hot as blazes in my office here, so we're gonna yeah, we got a fan going. My microphone isn't attached. Hang on. Okay, my microphone is attached, so this should be doing a fair bit better. I have finished since then, since my last video, which I think was over a month ago. I have finished the Faerie Queene. I've done Paradise Lost, Paradise Regained, and right now I am on the Countess of Pembroke's Arcadia. And I'm in the middle of that one. It's going okay. But we're gonna start at the beginning. We got to start with the Faerie Queene. Because the channel don't stop. All right, the channel don't stop. Okay, so I will say, for the books of the Faerie Queene, I would have to say my favorites would have to be, um, probably five, one, and three, because I like Sir Artegale. I really liked Britomart, and well, I mean, Britomart's a hottie. All right, I don't know what else to say about that. So I enjoyed that one. Very very feminist, which 1500s feminism is a bit different than like the modern feminism. They're not. Actually, you know what? Maybe I should abstain from getting too political on the channel. But I thought it was interesting, I'll say the least. And the Red Cross thing, I mean, what? I went the entire medieval epics not actually seeing someone fight a dragon, and which I had in the classical epics. In Ovid's Metamorphoses, there was Bacchus, and that was a whole dragon thing, like a very standard dragon story, which that was really cool. But that was BC, that was ancient Greece, and now for it not to be in the medieval epics, travesty, absolutely terrible. But I mean, yeah, no, I had my ups and downs with the Faerie Queene. I really enjoyed it when it started. I was obsessed with the Spencerian stanza. I'm like, I just kept on thinking about that. I'm like, that's so cool. And yeah, it's super impressive that he just keeps on doing the same stanza over and over again. But the reading list I got all this from, it recommended that you listen to the epics, and that's what I've been doing. But it's kind of difficult at a certain point. Like, English as a language, I think it evolves over time. So when you try to like listen to the early stuff, especially while I try to drive or do something else, it is still hard to fit pure dedicated listening time into doing kind of this stuff. But so I lose some of it. I go back and I summarize. I'll listen again, but I am not completely separated from what the sorry, you can see I got a burn from work right here. You cannot completely just separate everything. It's hard. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I don't know. But I put a lot of time into this story that Mr. Edmund did. I gotta say, I like it. I feel smarter on the other end. And that's just how I feel. It's just how I feel. It gets negative points for the ending. I know Edmund Spencer wanted to do 12 books, which would take this from a 33-hour listen to probably a 66-hour listen, with how consistent he was with the stanzas, the cantos, and the individual books. Because every book was 12 cantos. Every canto was about 20 minutes of listening. And that already made out for 20 minutes of listening to be 1% of it. 1% of a finished Faerie Queene listening would be 40 minutes if it was a full 12 books. That's insane. That's actually ridiculous. And I know, listen. I know on my reading list, I'm not even in the trenches of what's a long story, because 33, that's all fine and dandy. But some of Charles Dickens is like 50 hours. Some of Fyodor Dostoevsky, I haven't even thought about that. Although I think his round out to 16. But I don't have any Fyodor Dostoevsky on the reading list. There's no Fyodor. I'll have to add it. I will have to add. I might do a mini. Not a mini. It won't be. If it's Fyodor Dostoevsky, it's not going to be a mini section. But like, I might end up doing Fyodor Dostoevsky in like a sense of just I have to add it somewhere. On the reading list, I already have external religious items like the Apocrypha, Talmud, and like a bunch of other religious texts because, well, for my objective currently with Western canon, it makes a lot of sense to focus on Christian ethics and heftiness, and like it makes sense to focus on Christianity because of how centralized it is within all the cultures. Like again, the Faerie Queene, like it is the song, but it is a at its core a Christian allegorical poem. It still has all its roots in Christianity. So it makes sense that I do that. But also, you know what? I should say this. My plan for I do have a plan to finish the Bible actually too. So that is because I've already done the biblical epics, which is a huge category of Bible books. You can see all my videos on the biblical epics. I have a playlist of them, and so from there, I'm going to do biblical epics. Then I'm going to do the lyric, essay criticism, novel, and lyrics, essay criticism, novel, epics. Oh, and I don't think there's a biblical drama. I don't know. The reading list I have is by category, and I don't think anyone wrote a play that's in the Bible, unless I'm wrong. And then from there, I'll do lost books of the Bible, Apocrypha. I want to do the Book of Mormon at some point. I feel like that'll be very interesting and I don't know if it's necessarily a quick read, but I remember my wife once. She went to a Mormon church service because she has some Mormon friends or something. And what she ended up saying was that they have some texts that they'll read from the Bible in the sermon, but then the vast majority of what they quote is from the Book of Mormon. So I think that is endlessly fascinating to me because I don't know. Mormonism is such, at least what I'm saying currently, maybe my mind will be changed later, is such a cultish, bizarre mix of things. I was talking to some guy from Utah while he was moving into his apartment. I'm not afraid to say roughly where I am. I am in Minnesota. We have a growing Mormon population here, which I think is kind of hilarious because you got guys like me, you got people in the inner city, and then you got Somalis and Mormons. We're gonna get a whole weird Creole mix here in Minnesota very soon if things continue going the way they're going. I'm not saying anything's bad or good about that, but it's definitely just interesting. Like what is a Somali Muslim mom and like a Mormon father situation? I don't even know if they would intermix like that. This is sounding terrible. The more not really terrible, but like I just I don't know. The world is a big place, and I would want to read something about those two people trying to have a relationship together. That sounds very interesting. Shoot, we're talking about the Faerie Queene, 1500s literature. Crap. Circling back to 1500s, the Faerie Queene. Um, it doesn't really have an ending, does it? Really doesn't. So I think I have to not get points for that. So what? What have I done in the past? It's you get points for having beautiful language. Definitely checks that off. You get points for having things I like in it, dragon fighting, hot girls, all this kind of stuff. So all right, you got this kind of stuff. And then additionally, I think its actual plotting is loose. Although that is me judging it based off of novel. Actually, from what I've seen from the epics, I think I can grade things as epics now, separately from novels and other storytelling. So I think as an epic, it actually does a pretty good job. But I think it loses points for being unfinished, no matter how much I'm actually gracious for that I guess move on from it. It loses points for being unfinished, and it also loses points for still being unfinished and having a poor ending. I didn't really feel like, as I was getting to the end of it, it closed off very well. So I'm like 3 points high on it, 1.5 points down. So I'm 1.5 points high. I think that gets you like a B- in my book. So The Faerie Queene by Edmund Spencer, in general, is a B-. And yeah, that's what that is. And okay, all right. I have an announcement to make. I'm doing. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm doing an Instagram comic. So I'm just gonna make an Instagram account. It's gonna have, and you're gonna do the comic. Each page will be a panel, and you're just gonna swipe through it. And that's how I'm doing a comic. It's that Western I was talking about when I was really drunk. I think like half a year ago. But that's what that is. I already did like 2 pages of it when I thought I was going to do full sheets of comic pages with like separated panels. And then once I had the Instagram idea, I realized, okay, I need to change this around and change my formatting a little bit, which is great because I didn't get too far into doing the comic book pages. So that's going to be happening. When I figure it out, maybe in my next video or something, I'll put a link somewhere in my descriptions of my videos, maybe on my channel page. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. Anyways, that is a lot of new stuff happening. This might not be the last video I record tonight, so I will see you off soon. Peace out, brothers.